Hi, I'm Kathleen.
And I'm Sean.
And you're listening to the Dead Baby Bear podcast.
Dead Baby Bear. Long story. Chesting, heave 2-3. Here, do a quick heave.
Hey.
Do you ever heave to get the guy's attention?
Like,
Are we on right now or are we off
Yeah.
right now? Oh, we are on right now.
We're totally on.
All right.
We're on.
Chest heave.
Chest heave. What do you mean chest heave? Like
You
stick 'em
heave your
out?
chest. Yeah, you go, hey.
Yeah, no, I've never been like, hello.
Alert men to your tits.
I think they're already quite alert to tits. You don't
Yeah.
have to stick them out there. They'll look at any boob.
Yeah.
Guys just love boobs, and guys love to do the glance down. I have a friend that's like a very good friend of mine, like totally friend, never anything. But he's one of those people. Every time you talk to him, he's always looking at your boob and up. Okay, like he can't
Really?
stop it. And even
You're supposed to stop it. Yeah.
You're supposed to stop it.
Yeah. I think the general rule is like if a girl starts to speak to you, you have to stop looking at her breasts. As long as she's not speaking to you, you can be like, "You're all tits to me." You ain't nothing but tits to my eyes.
So what is it about boobies that boys love? Like, what is it?
I don't know. Who knows? It's so dumb. It's so
You
stupid.
can't even say.
It's just dumb, probably. It probably is dumb.
Like, are they fun to? Well, I know
I
they're
don't know.
fun, but
Yeah, I don't really know. And I mean, it's not like girls don't like them. Otherwise, you'd be like, "Oh, are you wearing your chest flattener this afternoon?"
It's the one thing that like most people, no matter what their gender, race, or sexual orientation, boobs are loved by all. Pretty
Well,
much.
think about like an old man on his deathbed in a long-term care facility. What's the like? If you're like, what is the if you could see one more thing before you go, what would it be?
boobs.
You're like, just a great pair of tits, and then like, beep. You know, there's nothing else that you'd want to see more than that. Like if you could just like, you can't move, you're not going to have any other experiences. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you've got 38 seconds to live. What do you want to see? You'd be like,
Today's.
I don't know. Like, not my kids. I mean, they've been here for they won't leave.
I have to tell you a story. I'll tell you who it is about after, but because I don't want to, they don't listen, but anyway. So a friend of mine messaged me and said that their dad had posted on his LinkedIn. I don't know. I'm not on LinkedIn, so I don't know how you do this stuff. But on his LinkedIn,
Wow.
he had posted like a GIF of a big-breasted woman like bouncing, and on accident. Like he's an older man, so he didn't mean to. But he commented underneath it.
What did he say? Get this off my LinkedIn page.
He commented, "Mmm."
Ouch.
Mm.
I hope it was because right before he died of his stroke, his finger was stuck on M. That's the only way that's acceptable. Did he die after that?
No,
he
he's
was
still
alive.
alive.
Oh, gross. Come on, girlfriend. Like, I don't know. Like,
I died when I heard that. That was so funny.
Like,
Yeah.
you're not talking to her. It's a GIF. There
No.
couldn't be a more impersonal, asexual thing than a GIF. And you're like, oh, come on, daddy. Oh, come on, mama. Oh, come on. The 3-second clip, mama. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, you're jerking off to a GIF. You just stop every 3 seconds and start, okay, yeah. And then, you jerk and stop. No, that's gross. Why would you ever be turned on by a GIF?
Probably men that used to have to look at pictures are turned on by GIFs.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like imagine having to only jerk off to
How old is their
photos.
dad? Was it a girl?
It's like an adult man, like a very
Adult man.
Did he realize it was his own post?
I don't think he realized it's still up there.
It's.
to
I
this
mean,
day.
first of all, tacky to comment on your own post, I guess. Oh yeah, mama. Who put this up? Hey, girlfriend. I'm gonna private message this lady. Why can't I click on the picture? The picture won't. I thought I was click on the picture and it would send me to an email address. Hello, Catherine. Just wondering if we could have a little word.
Do you think that if there was a like very large breasted female politician, like, and she flaunted it, like, and it was a big part of her policy, do you think she'd finally get elected to be prime minister and
I
president?
think most men know and people know that tits don't solve problems. You know what I mean?
I
like,
mean,
not alone.
I don't think
You
a
could
lot
be
of
like
men
a
know
big-breasted
that.
woman who's, you know what
I
I mean?
don't-
Tits create problems.
I don't know about. They
How many
create
times have
problems,
you?
but they do solve
No
some
man has
problems.
been in a situation where they're like, "Oh, those tits solved my problem." They're just like, those tits gave me 3 more problems. I had 3 problems, and then I saw those tits, and now I have 5 problems.
I got 99 problems, and tits are definitely one.
Yeah, tits are 2 of them.
A couple of them.
Yeah, you don't go like, oh my God, thank God those tits, like they fixed it.
Do you think if men had, I know some men have breasts, but like true breasts.
Not good ones, yeah.
Yeah, do you
I
think
guess
if men
babies
had a
have to be
nice
able.
set of
That's really
tits?
what it is babies have to be able to suck on them.
Yeah, but do you think if men...
Any tits you have that babies can't suck on, we're like, oh, which is weird, right?
Yeah, it is weird.
Because you'd think that wouldn't be sexual. Like an infant, like things we normally want to abort
Yeah.
are sucking on tits. It should be disgusting. But those are the only breasts we're into.
Like, do you look at a pregnant dog with tits?
Because even
and
gay
think,
men...
wow, look at all those titties.
Gay men don't look at like gay men with huge tits and think, yes, sir. You know what I mean?
Those are people that like bears.
Oh, bears. Okay.
Bears
are big gay guys, right?
Though, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be your kink. Is it a kink or is it fun?
I think
what's
it's
a
just
kink?
your type. I don't know. I think a kink is more like you have to like be choked when you're fucking people.
And that's what, 80% of women?
Yeah, I love how many people think that women just love getting choked out in the middle of sex. Like, when did this start? When did this start? Like that these guys, like a couple of guys got away with it, and then suddenly, and then there's some girls.
A couple guys got away with it.
And then there's some girls that are like, I really like it, but just because one girl, that's the one thing I always found with men is that like just because one girl in their past liked something does not mean that the girl that they're with right now is going to like it too.
Yeah,
it's the same like women, but I mean like. I'm not gonna like do something horrible to a man and be like, oh, one guy liked it once.
And men always,
What would you do? What would be your thing?
I'd be like, would you like me to?
No, what would be your choke?
Yeah, what would be your choke? What's Kathleen's version of choke?
Like that I liked?
Yeah.
Or, no, that you would do to a guy.
Yeah.
You'd be like, dude.
Yeah, I know you like that because you all men like that.
Yeah, call him a piece of shit, part of the patriarchy. That's what I like. No, okay.
Yeah. What's your mom's maiden name, you faggot?
I wish I was like as. I do like making men cry. No, I'm kidding. I don't like making men cry because that shows me that they're weak.
Do we have to take that word out? Like, because I said that word?
You know what? I think that you just.
I think in that context.
Yes, in the context of because you weren't using in the context of.
I was saying like the
homosexual man.
I mean like you say it to a straight bro.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that would be a hard thing for him to be like continue having sex
I'm sure
through.
Somebody's gonna write an email if they actually.
But it's like the word version of choking.
Yeah.
Is a horrific word.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not as kinky as I would think I would be. I think I'm just slutty, but
and men always
weird. I'm just slutty. I'm not kinky.
Men always present choking as like something she said. Like, well then, I'm just fucking like I always do. You know me. I'm fucking. And this girl's like, choke me, you fucking loser.
Yeah,
so men never admit to being like, oh yeah, I slowly got her into choking. Yeah.
I slowly convinced her.
It's an acquired grip. Choking. It's an acquired grip.
Oh God. Yeah, there's a
What's your favorite grip pressure on a chokehold? Are you a 4? Here's a 4. Let me show you what a 4 is. Before you say 4, let me show you a 4. Because it's quite tight.
How many peppers would you put in your Kung Pao chicken at Earl's? That's your grip. I'm a 0 pepper girl, so don't grip me
when
at
you
all.
have tuna inside a pepper, is it hot or cold? Preferably. No, yeah, because you'd have to have so many agreements with choking. Like, choke me. Like, all right. Like, not that fucking, not lifeless joke.
I don't know what's, like, hot about that. Like, I don't understand it. Somebody needs to let us know that likes choking what is hot about it.
I guess it's, like, part of it's, like,
A
people that like being dominated, but also, like, autoerotic asphyxiation. So it's, like, a marriage of two, you know, kinks. So it's like, I like to be able to not breathe when I come. What? Yeah, you know. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, which is weird. I like coming and not breathing. Oh, is that right? That's a fun double kink. That's a true kink. You know what I mean? In your fucking air hose. I don't know who would want that.
I know that people
have died from it. Who was that NXS guy died from it?
NXS guy, the karate guy did. What's his name? David Carradine died of that. And like, it's like, that's just, I don't know.
I think a lot of hangings in general are ruled to be suicide rather than that. But it was
actually that? Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is going to be like, oh, because like you walk into the basement and somebody's like, Oh boy!
Imagine
Like he's got a
seeing-
rope around his neck and he's naked and his
Yes.
hand is
I was
glued
gonna
to his
say,
cock and like
seeing someone hanging from a ceiling
porn
is
is
sad.
playing on a TV that's 6 feet away. Like clearly they were jerking off and died.
Yeah, that'd be sad. That'd be sad. If you walked in on someone that you knew and they were hanging from the ceiling, you're like, no, why'd you do it? And then you're like, oh, you were doing that.
You didn't even mean to.
You just miscalculated.
Oh.
You just
Yeah, because I know
miscalculated.
your first thought is like, no, you had so much to live for. And then you're like, oh, he knew he did. He just, ugh.
Oh. That would be such a range of emotions to go through.
No, you had children and stuff, you know. And then you're
Don't
like,
tell your children.
And then, ugh. And then what do? The first thing you do is you shut the porn off. You close the laptop.
You clean up the semen.
You put his pants on. You take all the pornography that he has fucking glued to his body and put him in the tub. You clean him up, and then you say it was a ruled suicide.
See, this is what is that.
And then people are like, I just don't know. I can't believe he would kill himself. And you're like, yeah, no, me neither.
That'd be a hard burden to have to be the one person that knew that they died from autoerotic asphyxiation, not suicide.
Because you cleaned it up, right?
'Cause
You're
you'd
the
have
guy
to
who
be
cleaned
like-
it up. Everybody else is that.
Because you'd have to be like,
I refuse to fucking believe that he would do that. And then you're like, yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Also, didn't you find him? What was he like? Like, oh,
we don't want to talk about it.
He was. Did it with a workbench.
Where
Yeah, he
was the
stiff.
suicide note? It was on a VHS.
You don't
and
want to
no
read
one's
that. You don't want to read that. It was fuck poetry. What?
Oh my god.
Fuck poetry.
That just seems, that to me, that seems like too much work just to masturbate. You got to do so much stuff just to masturbate. Like, that's your thing. You have to do people set stuff up a scene? To
Well, and that's the
masturbate?
worst part, too, is you have to keep upping the ante just like your Vivance. You know what I mean? Like, you're like 30. I'm living my best life. 40, 50, 70, 40, like 80, 100. Like, you're just going to keep upping the Vivance until... You know,
Until I die of autoerotic
yeah,
asphyxiation.
until you die of autoerotic asphyxiation.
Is it
That's
mostly
weird.
just a guy thing, though? Because, like, what would a girl be hanging herself?
Well, girls like being choked, so that's their version of autoerotic asphyxiation. Maybe like
Okay.
guys are like, I can't ask somebody else to do it, so I'll just tie all my gym cords around my own neck. You know, whereas girls are like, fuck it, I'll just get them to choke me. You know?
And then someone will be there. See, that's why women are
Because guys can't be
smarter,
like, get a
because
girl to
men are
choke them.
stupid. They'll
They
do
are.
that, and they'll do it by themselves. So that's when the accidents happen. But a girl will have somebody do it to her, so that if something bad happens, there's someone to call 911.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
But men are dumb because they don't want anyone to know, and then their best friend has to find them with their pants down and a rope around their neck.
Ugh, that's the worst. I hope that never happens to anybody in this room.
Me too, at least in this room.
Naked. Sean naked in his own basement. Hanging from like fucking some like bands that you used to stretch out before volleyball. You know, just like, ugh, what the fuck? Just porn everywhere.
No.
Because you're not ready to die, so you don't have your den death ready.
No.
You know, everything's a mess. You're just jerking off again, like you always do. Like, what do you do before you jerk off? Do you make sure everything's
clean
clean
your
and
house.
fucking like remove
Well, I'm
all
going
debris?
to now. Well, I'm going to now. I'm going to clean
course
my
you
whole house
don't.
before I masturbate.
So
from
when
now
you're
on.
autoerotic, you're just like, oh boy, I got the urge to do this thing again. You know I can't come unless I have fucking, you know, like a Bowflex around my crotch. Gross.
Can you imagine if every time before you had to masturbate, you're like, well, I got to make sure in case I die during this. So
Every time.
Every time your house was clean, you're like, oh, Sean was masturbating again.
Yeah, right in the middle of all your receipts. You were just doing taxes. Took a break from doing taxes to jerk off. You're just like, fucking, there's receipts everywhere. What the fuck? He must have owed the government, and then you like, no, he had a rebate coming. What the fuck?
Why would he do this?
He was jerking off. Yeah, you just think it's like, oh my God, he must have owed Revenue Canada $1 million. Like, no, they owed him 18,000. Oh, that explains all the porn and the fucking. Okay, it's starting to clue in. I'm cluing in. But yeah, you wouldn't tell anybody. It happens a lot more than people report, for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because it all flows. Yeah, who wants to kill themselves? Nobody.
Nobody really. People think about it, but they don't want to actually do it.
Yeah, I mean, psychologists always, have you thought about killing yourself? Like, everybody's
Everyone's
like,
like, of
sure.
course.
I mean, that's the
Everyone at one
weirdest
point.
thing to not think it.
Yeah.
It'd be so weird to meet somebody who's like, no.
Never.
Why? You know what I mean? Like,
I love that
imagine
it's so absurd
like
to us, but there's somebody listening to this right now that's like,
I've met people like, I've dated people like that,
that-
and I'm just like, wow.
no.
how can you
they're
never
lying to
thought
themselves.
about killing yourself?
Not
Like,
even in
come
a like
on.
in like when you play like Truth or Dare, like how would you kill yourself? And then you'd be like, I never thought of it.
Yeah, you just think of like, man, things would be, you know, just like that NMAX bill wouldn't matter so much if I was dead.
Yeah.
You know, like even that, even just little dreams of like, fuck, it really wouldn't matter how much I was putting in my TFSAs if I was dead.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to fix my truck. There's a lot of things going on I don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know, because life becomes like this task and obligation thing, right?
It's
Where
a
like
constant checklist.
everything is like tasks, obligations with a little bit of laughter thrown in.
Very little bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. Some days none.
None. Sometimes
Some days
none.
it's all tasks and
Sometimes
obligations.
it's filled with scream crying.
Yeah, and then your tasks turn into like and then you brush off the tasks, and now you have a lot of obligations. You're
Yeah.
like, these tasks just all became obligations, and now I have a day filled with fucking obligations. There's nothing funny about this. And you're going around about your day. People are trying to cheer you up, like Kathleen, and you're like, fuck off!
Get out of my face.
I got 9 things to do.
That's like me. I was telling you, we were going in. I'm like, I gotta quit my job because I fucking hate it. I just fucking hate people. Like, I hate people. Everyone is dumb. Everyone is so dumb, and it's making me an angry person. Like, today, a woman came in, and like, I brought her tacos, and then she's like, could I have a fork for my tacos? Because it seems like all my fillings are falling off. And I just literally, in my head, pictured stabbing her in the eye with the fork and being like, only stupid people eat tacos with forks. Who the fuck eats a taco with a fork?
Well, and it's also like, I hate it when people say something that's like, sort of, this isn't my fault.
Yeah.
Hi there. Basically, it's like, I already should have had forks.
Oh, I know. That's how she said it,
And you know
too.
why I should have already had forks? Because all of your tacos just fall to fucking pieces. It's a house of cards. These things are just fucking made to fall apart, and you don't even give us a fucking fork. And I know, that's what she's thinking.
Oh, yeah.
When she was at her table, she wasn't like, I'm going to go get a fork because these fell apart. She was telling me like, these fucking tacos, they don't even have any fucking cutlery.
Literally.
There's no fucking forks on the table. I got to go get my own forks.
Every time somebody said something to me, I'm like, absolutely. And I'd turn around and in my mask, I'd be like, go fuck yourself or fucking kill me, kill me, kill me. That is the beauty of the mask. Like, I hate masks. I hate wearing them. I hate so much about them. But I do love that I can just like be like mouthing, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like,
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it probably takes every human 5 more minutes to fall asleep every night on average because of how much less smiling we're doing.
yeah.
You don't have to smile anymore. I go into co-op and I'm like, normal face.
Yeah.
I don't need to smile for any of these fucking losers.
Yeah.
But like without masks, you've got to be like, oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Aha.
Yeah.
And a fake smile takes like, that's so much
Now you just have
energy.
to smile with your eyes.
Yeah, and that's easy. There's
Yeah.
no calories burning there.
No, that's easy to
You
smile
just
with
like,
your eyes.
ooh.
You can be frowning and smiling with your eyes.
Yeah, yeah. That looked kind of creepy,
That did
actually.
look creepy.
Maybe you can't.
Maybe you can't. No. I think that I'm done in the customer service world. I just like hate people so much. And
And I like how you're just going to do comedy now where it's all customer service.
that's the problem. Is like I was even thinking about that too. I'm like, I just don't want to be around people at all anymore. Like I don't want to have to deal with human interaction at all. Like I understand why people get to be so mean and grouchy when they're old. Because they're literally just the people that are like, I've had enough. I've had enough of you complaining that your life sucks and you complaining that your life sucks and you guys have the best lives in the world and your lives aren't even hard at all. My life's not hard. None of our lives are that fucking hard. But
No.
everybody thinks that they're so fucking hard done by now and they need special treatment, and I'm done. I'm done being nice to everybody. I can't do it anymore.
Be shitty to everybody.
I should just start being shitty to everybody, except for people that are working in the service industry, because I feel
Like a
okay.
female falling down would be a good movie.
Yeah, maybe I should do that.
Like a
just
female
go and
lead
shoot a
falling
bunch
down.
of
That's
people?
the next movie to me that needs to be made, is like a falling down, but it's a girl instead
Yeah.
of a guy. So
Yeah.
it's not guns and fucking like, fuck you.
What
Like that
is
was so
it?
dumb. It was, what would a girl falling down be about? It would just be about you like slowly deconstructing like everybody, like destroying them slowly.
Slowly, mentally.
Yeah, or maybe like dropping off fake parcels at their home. You know what I mean? Like something huge where they're like, I have a huge, oh my God, Amazon just dropped off a giant box. Like, yeah.
And it's just
and then they open it
inside.
and it is nothing. It's absolutely, you just fucking just destroy. And then you stand there like, hey, it's for me. Fuck you.
Be the ruiner.
Teacher who told me I wouldn't amount to anything. Like you just
Fuck
do like
you.
crazy passive aggressive stuff to break people's hearts, and then you let them know it was you.
That
Fuck,
would
and
be
it was
fun.
me. It was me.
That would be fun. I would like to like start showing people who complain about their lives like a bad life. Like I think that if somebody's complaining that how difficult it is for them and how their trauma has made it so hard for them to live, I would love to like have them forced to go and see someone who lives an absolutely horrific life and then realize, oh, okay, everyone is really nice to me and my life is very easy and I need
It's
to
pretty
shut
much
the fuck
just like
up.
I mean, how we're behaving now isn't like necessarily dissimilar to like in history. Like if you look at any sort of like where people cared about language a
Yeah.
lot or cared about like, you know, enlightenment or like the human mind, it was always during a period where we hadn't had a war in too long.
Yeah.
It was just like, you know, that's this is the stuff we care about in between wars.
That is that's probably
You know,
why everyone
like
is
so it's like
such pussies.
we haven't had a war. So
Yeah.
that's like so we're at this phase of humanity where it's like fuck, we haven't had a like all this language shit. We need a war.
Well, there are
to
people like our
calm everything
generation.
down. We need like a world war to
We-
calm
yeah.
everybody the fuck down.
Like our generation, I think, is the start of people who've never lived through a world war, right? Like I think our parents had like Vietnam, and I think that was, but we have never experienced that. So yeah, everything seems horrifying when it actually happens, but we're not like witnessing our family being shot in the head. We're not
No.
witnessing any of this kind of stuff. We're not being sent overseas to murder other people. Like
Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing how quickly all of this talk would disappear if we were engaged in a war that we could lose.
yeah,
Like where it's like fuck, we could lose.
yeah.
It's like, hey, what do you, Kathleen? Hi there. Like, how progressive are you? Like, I don't fucking care. Like, we could lose.
Do you think, I wonder how fast people would be like, I can't go to war. I'm transgendered. I can't go to war. Like, how fast would everything
Okay.
turn around?
I have to bring my emotional support dog. Like, you're fighting a war. I'm fighting. Think about how shitty we'd be at war.
It would be so
We have
bad.
like hey Billy, you need a free arm for your gun. Like, I'm sorry, I need both my dogs for this mission. Just a guy with no gun carrying two emotional support animals under his arms. Like, keep me calm, keep me sane, Rusty. We're going into the front lines.
Oh my God.
Just a bunch of pups.
Oh my, it would be horrifying. It would be, and you know what?
Oh my God, my anxiety is really bad on this one.
There are
like, there's no mental
And
health.
there are countries where people are just a tougher person because they have lived in poverty and they have lived. But people in North America,
I'm glad we're
are
fat and
living
happy. By the way,
so
like
fat and
I
happy.
would hate to be toughened up
But
by
can you
starvation.
imagine if a war started? We would lose so fast.
Very fast.
There's no way a morbidly obese person would be running through the front lines. Like, there's no way. Like,
No.
and like, there are countries where people are actually like they're still full on training for war at all times, and we're just like,
Well,
oh
and-
my God, it's so hard. I waited
it's
for
even-
5 minutes in the McDonald's drive-thru, and my life sucks.
Well, and it's worse. It's worse than that because we'd be like, hey, 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds, go save us.
Oh, yeah.
Like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh yeah,
We raised them wrong.
We
didn't
raised-
raise them war ready.
no.
Like, nobody's raised. That's the thing, too, is we act like our parents raised us shitty and their parents raised them shitty. It's like we were kind of raising them for war.
yeah,
Like, they could fucking die or they'd be working at a smelter.
yeah.
Like, we weren't raising them to be like, you're going to code and play basketball. Like, we have the luxury of raising kids super soft,
Oh yeah.
which is kind of how they should be raised. They're just little people. But it's like, we weren't, we like, oh, fucking my grandfather used to do this thing to my dad
Yeah.
that was so cruel. And it's like, well, he could have fucking gone to Vietnam. Like,
Yeah.
that's how you fucking survive a war.
Yeah,
you
your
get raised like
grandfather
shit.
was in a prisoner of war camp and had mind games played with him daily. So he just is training. He's just trying to be like, hey, this might happen to you, and
Yeah.
this is how you deal with these people. But it's like the same thing with like homeschooling and stuff. I don't understand homeschooling, it's just like, oh, my child can't deal with the pressures of school. And I'm like, your child is not learning social skills at all. And then now this child that has learned no social skills is now going into a workforce where you have to have social skills and they don't have them. And then they're like, well, I can't work in this office but you have to hire me because if you don't hire me, I'm going to get a lawyer and say that you're discriminating against me because I was homeschooled. And it's like, okay.
Well, that's the problem too, is we
I'm turning into a boomer, I think.
Like we act like, it's all these, we act like it's, just fucking crazy. But it's not, they're getting raised fine now, but they were getting raised ready for war. Yeah. They had to be fucking tough. Yeah. We don't have to be. No. And you don't really want tough kids anyway.
Yeah, but it will kick us in the butt eventually. Something
if there's a war,
something bad will happen, and we will not be prepared for it.
No, if you have
look at the pandemic. Something bad did happen, and nobody was prepared for it. Do you think that if the pandemic happened just after World War II, people would be like, "Oh, I don't want to do what the government's telling me to do"? Like, no, I just went over and fought for my country. Now I'm going to stay here and fight for my country. No one would be acting the way that they're acting, like, oh, what about me? What about how I feel? What about my life? Everyone would be like, hey, let's get together and make sure everybody's lives.
Well, and the conspiracy theorist thing, like, I'm here to fight for freedom. Like, where were you last year when we were in fucking Normandy, you piece of dog shit? Yeah. Well, I'm here fighting for tiny freedom. Tiny freedom. I'm here fighting for the world's smallest freedom, to wear my mask below my nose. That's the smallest freedom known to man, and I'm fighting for it.
Some guy came into people will always have their masks under their noses, and I just I don't say anything, but in my head I say, really? After all this time, really? Like, you're still letting it slide down your face, and you think, oopsies, I don't feel that. Like, shut your dumb. I hate people, Sean. I hate people.
Well, and it was weird too, because I was at Rumors Comedy Club in Tuxedo, Winnipeg, the ritzy part of Winnipeg.
And, it is a beautiful neighborhood.
And it's weird because you do, like, some of the Winnipeg comics were talking about it, and it's sort of true. Like, you do miss the anti-vax energy in a club. Because, like, now that nobody... Well, because the people that got vaccinated are, like, community versus individual by nature. Yeah. Like, they're community over individual by nature. And so now they're the only ones at the comedy club. So everybody in there is behaving like, oh, it's community over individual. I should be quiet even if I feel like talking or even if I don't like it. Yeah. They'll just be quiet. So you're dealing, like, you're talking, you're like, fuck, there's no hecklers here.
Yeah, there's idiots.
Nobody who's like, hey, I got one for you. Yeah. Hey. Like, those are the guys who didn't vaccinate themselves, right? Yeah. The individual, like, the guy who in a comedy club is like,
it's all about
what do you mean other people?
Yeah.
Like, I got something to say, and I've always been considered to be funny by the guys who drink Pilsner inside of my garage. Hey!
that is
guy.
Very
that
true.
That guy's gone.
That is very true.
He's gone. He's not there.
He's not there. Audiences are politer and stuff.
Girl. The ew girl's gone, too. So there's, like, the hey guy and the ew girl. They're both not there. So you're just, like, talking to people that are just like,
that says I'm an ew guy. I know I'm an ew girl. Hey, I'm a hey guy.
Ew. Like, yeah, the girls that are like, like, there's a way to say ew naturally, which is like ew. Nobody goes ew. Like,
you
so
sound like one of those tubes.
So
things.
it's like, I know it's a put on, you bitch. Ew. Like, okay, calm the fuck down, Rachel. Jesus Christ.
So every crowd was perfect this weekend?
Yeah, they just didn't make it, like, they either liked it and laughed or they didn't like it and remained dead silent.
I find a lot of crowds are not, like, loud laughing anymore, so maybe that is also missing too. Like, they're just yeah, it's all the damaged lungs. Yeah, nobody
long COVID.
Yeah. But I feel like, crowds have changed. People are like, are crowds different? I'm like, well, for one, they're still very small compared to what they used to be because no one can be packed in anymore. Mm-hmm. And, like, that energy is gone. And then, like, they are a lot. Either they're more just, like, I feel like they think that they're at a play sometimes. And because they'll chuckle, but they won't laugh. Which is okay.
I don't mind. I prefer the, like, I'm watching shitty improv. Like, I prefer that energy. Yeah. To, like, people thinking, like, oh, yeah. Well,
let me be involved.
I was at the barbecue. Holy shit. This guy's a fucking real piece of work. And they don't understand, right? They don't see the community individual connection. They just think like, I am a freedom-loving man who paid my fucking freedom money for this freedom ticket.
Yeah.
And I will fucking laugh freely. And I will speak freely. I will not be silenced.
Do you think all this freedom stuff started? Remember when they started calling French fries freedom fries? Why did they hate the French all of a sudden? When was that? Do you think that that's when all those freedom people really started to give birth to themselves?
Well, the French are easy to hate, right?
Yeah, but
So it's
when
like they're
was
an
that?
easy target.
Was that around 9/11, or when did that start happening where it was like French people started hating
Can you imagine
anything
if French?
French?
Can you imagine if
More of a pro-American thing than an anti-French thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they
freedom
didn't want
fries,
any
yeah.
freedom fries.
Well, it was because they France. It was basically like England and America were on their own fighting in Iraq.
Oh, okay.
So most other countries said we'll follow you to Afghanistan,
is
but
like,
we're not
fuck
going
that.
to Iraq. It's sort of like the guys that are like, like you're at the club, let's go to a party afterwards. All right, and then you go to one after party, and someone's like, now we're going to another guy, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go. I went to the club, a party. I'm fucking not traipsing around town all fucking night till 6. And that's basically what the world said to America. Was like, we'll go to Afghanistan, we'll help you out.
But let's relax on every country.
Why do we have to fucking drink at Iraq till 6 a.m.? And then that's what America did. They drank in Iraq until 6 a.m. And then they were like, oh, I don't feel very good.
And then they blamed everyone else.
Why didn't you help us?
Why did you tell me not to go?
I told you I was blackout drunk. You lied about weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass what? What was that talking about last night?
Weapons of mass to what?
I wouldn't say none of that. You must be thinking of somebody else. Because I sure as fuck didn't say that.
Most wars did start because one politician got a little too drunk and was talking about too much shit.
An archduke fell off his balcony. He was murdered. No, he was jerking off. So back then they took it one extra step because like now we're like it was a suicide.
Why did
But back then it would be just like you got two horses pulling a rope, and you're whipping them. You know what I mean? Like you're whipping you're whipping two horses that have a rope around your neck, and you're getting pulled up as the horses run away, and you just keep whipping them. And then you die of like weird early age autoerotic asphyxiation. And then your friend comes and sees the horses and the porn and the nakedness, and he's like, he was murdered.
Why wouldn't they start a terrible rumor about like Hitler saying he was found jerking off with a rope around his neck when he died? Why wouldn't
I'm
they
surprised
do
we
something
get.
like that?
Yeah, why didn't we gave him such a bad ending?
Yeah, why don't they give him like a
Hitler
better?
needed a better ending.
Yeah,
like, that's such a shit ending. It should have been like, and then Hitler was chased down by children from Poland. Like, fuck, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like, just kids from Poland.
Yeah, they should
murdered
make up
him.
history a little bit more better.
Yeah, sometimes they leave arsenic with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, pretty boring.
Underground arsenic.
Who are you,
with
Romeo and Juliet?
Underground arsenic, I believe. Bunker poison. Well, I'm not interested. That's not a story I want to tell.
Yeah, like JFK got
It
shot.
needs
in
a
the
Hollywood
head.
ending. That
Like,
was cool.
That is a Hollywood.
That was
death.
cool.
Like his head flew off in front of American citizens.
His girlfriend was there.
His girlfriend, his gal pal.
The chick he fucked the least.
The chick he fucked the least had to watch him.
Yeah,
die.
the chick he stopped fucking 8 years ago. Yeah, those are the chicks always left cleaning up the blood.
Jesus Christ.
None of the cum, all the blood.
None of the
Story
cum.
of my life.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
I'm lucky. I'm
None
still
of
in
the
my cum years.
Always the blood.
Yeah, that's the way it is with men.
Oh, my God.
They're coming on you. They're bleeding on you. They're shitting on you. What phase are you in? Are you cleaning his brief or
How long have you been
cleaning
married?
up his cuts and bruises or getting cummed on because you're dating still? It's a tough life.
It is a tough life.
So what did you do this weekend? Anything fun?
I don't think I did anything fun. No, I just was like, I didn't have to do comedy this weekend, so I just was like nice and relaxed. And I stayed home. Adam came home on Friday. And then we just hung out, and he built stuff in our condo for me.
It's tough when you're like separated for a while and then you come back because you're sort of like, we're supposed to talk a lot, but I don't feel like it.
Well, yeah. Like,
You know, that's the weirdest part of a long separation is like after 10 minutes, you're like, well, I kind of want to go back to not talking much like I was before I saw you again. But I suppose we each have
we've been
stories
separated.
we're supposed to tell each other.
That's my other thing is like I'm not doing anything exciting at all, so I have nothing exciting to talk about at all.
Yeah, I mean, everything that's cool that happened is a secret.
Why?
Because you're cheating.
Oh my god.
That's a joke.
That's terrible. No.
I can't tell you any of the cool stuff because you're not supposed to know about it.
You weren't supposed to know about
You'd
that
probably
orgy.
You'd probably try to stop it.
No, poor Adam. But I get it because he's like stuck somewhere with like
I know.
in like the middle of nowhere, and like he's probably bored as fuck the whole time, and then he gets back and he wants to do stuff. But
I know, yeah.
But I'm like, he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And then I'm like, I'm not an event organizer. Like, let's just plan something. Let's go. Tell me we're gonna go for a walk in the river valley. We're gonna do this or that. But I'm like, I don't know what. I can't plan events for you, and I can't put everything on pause when you get home. But yes, it's happy.
Yeah.
We're very happy.
But yes, yes. You know that thing that was that fun part of the wedding where that thing was inflating and well, that's on the ground now.
It's not true.
That's been put right back in the box.
Not true.
Our marriage is a lot like that thing in that it's in a box now.
Yeah. But everybody thinks like when you get married, we get everything then it's a brand new life and all these new exciting
You start to
things
fuck
happen.
in the attic.
We don't have an attic. But no, like you just look like it's the same relationship. Nothing changes that much.
No, but it would be fun if you get married, you can start fucking in the attic.
Yeah, that would be
Just
fun.
on a tiny bed.
Just
and
any
stuff.
attic.
No, your own attic. You
But
just
we don't
like
have an attic.
ladder on up. Fuck.
We're in a condo. We don't have an
Yeah,
attic.
that's true. Where could you fuck that's different? That's what you should do when you're married, to start fucking in a different room. Just to keep it like, okay, we're married, but wow, this is weird.
Maybe in the dumpster, just like all the other homeless people in my
Do
neighborhood.
they fuck in the dumpster?
Well, people, listen, I have empathy for homeless people and everything. I have no empathy for the homeless people that come through your dumpster, throw shit on the ground and walk away. Like, you know what I do? I put my cans on the outside in a bag. Like, I collect them all, and then I put one out, and then whoever gets it, lucky them. That's what they're looking for. There you go. But
Let them eat cock.
they come and they throw shit everywhere, and I'm like, listen, can you just like put it back in this giant dumpster that you just pulled it out of? It's not difficult.
Well, part of becoming homeless is being bad at being in one.
Yeah, I
right?
guess so.
I mean, that's how it starts.
And mental illnesses, yes, I understand.
Of course, mental illness is a part of it.
Yeah.
And like, that's the thing about like I gave I don't mind for some reason, like, if it's a girl, I'll give her money. I don't know why. If it's a guy, I don't. That's kind of sexist.
That
like,
is very sexist.
you're like, get a job, you person with schizophrenia who can't afford their medicine.
But
That's a horrible thing to say. But homeless lady, I'm like, oh, you little monkey. Here you
Because
go.
it's I'm sorry, it would be way harder to be a homeless woman than it would ever to be a homeless man. Like, can you imagine having to be worried about
Yeah.
stuff all the time? Also, the fact
Yeah.
that like you still get your period regardless if you can pay for tampons and stuff or not. Like that is like something that's like a huge issue that like people don't understand, like don't even think about. But then it's like, yeah, like this lady, like, and these are maybe her only clothes. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well,
I think.
and I mean, like, trying to create a safe
Oh yeah.
environment.
Just being around other like men who, like you, might have a very scary mental illness, but could very definitely overpower you. Yeah, that's like, yeah, creepy.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about, like, it ain't woke down there.
Yeah.
So if you're like, you can't say that anymore. Like, what? Like, fuck you.
Yeah, no, they don't care.
Get away from my burning barrel.
Yeah, they don't.
Please step away from my burning barrel,
It's
woman.
a different set of rules for those people. Yeah, no, I do feel bad for them, but also.
I just can't, I can't imagine the life, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can't, what they're going through is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine it. Like, just actually being outside.
Yeah. If you were homeless, though, if someone was like, let me help you, would you let them help you? Because that's what a lot of people claim. Oh, they don't want help. They won't take help. They just want to be the way they are.
Well, think about what you need to construct a life.
Yeah.
Like, you need enough stability to, like, be employed, have relationships, have transportation. Like,
Yeah.
so if you're mentally ill, you're a million miles away from a normal life. You have so many hurdles and you have, like, You can't just like, oh, I'm gonna, hey, tell us, I want you to set up my phone. Like, is this you, Rick? Oh yeah, like you can't run away from all your like shit that problems you've created and debt you can't repay. Like, so yeah, I'm sure for some of them it's like, it's just a pipe dream.
Why don't they like start like things where you
so
have
the
an
idea
apartment
of like,
building?
oh, I gave him $10 once and he didn't even start a new life with it. Like, no shit. What's he? He can't fucking start a new life. Jesus Christ.
Like, why don't they start apartment buildings where homeless people get an apartment and a personal assistant to help them to be like, listen, this is your bill. You pay this
butler.
bill. Yeah, butler. Every homeless person gets a home and a butler.
Oh.
Why don't we do that? Why don't the millionaires go on the street and let the homeless people have a nice time for a while?
That wouldn't be bad. Switch it up.
Switch it up. Put Jeff Bezos on the streets and let Scary Hank come into his mansion for a little while.
That's what it's going to come to eventually, is like just Bezos' head on a pike, and we're
I
like,
think that will
okay,
happen.
this is going to be a fun Tuesday.
Yeah, something will snap. Something like there'll be like a Great Depression or something again, like they had.
What we've taught billionaires is that we won't fuck with them. That's why they continue to just run with the same system.
Yeah, so we should start fucking with them.
Yeah. There was a guy like David Graeber. He's like an economist. He's dead. But he talked about, sort of like market socialism. And like he talked about like people in the olden days, we used to think, sort of when we dreamed up economics, we dreamed up this scenario where like way back in the day, like I had a cow and you had 19 chickens. And you were like, oh, I want your cow. I'll give you 19 chickens. And it was just this barter system. And that's really not what happened ever. It was just like communities where I was your neighbor and I was like, that's a nice cow. Like, I like that cow. I could use a cow. They're like, have it. Have a cow. Like, I've got plenty of cows.
Have a cow, man.
Have a cow, bro.
But then we went from have a cow man to don't have a cow man, and that's when it changed.
But it was just neighbor for neighbor, favor for favor. It was just like, I need a cow today. Here's a cow. And then tomorrow I need some wood. I owe you a cow. Or like I have, it was just, all of it was just sort of favor for favor. We'll remember who owes people what. And then when there was coins, everybody would just sort of like pay with coins and like whatever. And there's like, oh, who owes who what? At the end of the year, they'd all get together and say, who owes who what? I owe you this. You owe me that. And then they would all kind of break it down and say, okay, at the end of it now, Phil owes Terry $1.
Yeah, and I bet you the people
there
that
was
got
no debt, there was no
But I bet you the people that became rich out of that system are the ones that are like, I didn't have that drink. They're the ones that are lying and like, I didn't do that. I didn't order the appetizer.
No, that wasn't me.
I didn't take your cow.
On September 26th, you came in and had nachos at Chili's. I never had nachos at Chili's.
I had a nacho.
Show me the fucking receipts. Yeah, like we don't really.
You have to be a bit of a dickhead to be rich.
Yeah, because we know our
poor people are honest.
But our relationship with money now is like, if I'm poor, I'm fucked, right? Like we know how fucked. Like you see homeless people, and you're like, you know exactly how fucked you are if you don't have it. So you're like, I didn't have those fucking nachos. Please don't overcharge me. I'm so close to just being on the fucking streets.
But I think the rich people are the ones that would be more likely to do that because they lie to keep their money. They stab people in the back to keep their money. That's what they do. Like, that's how you get richer. You have to put.
But it is weird. It's kind of weird that we think that Bezos shouldn't have a spaceship.
He can have a spaceship, but he needs to also give some fucking money back to the world instead of just having. You can have one spaceship. You don't need to have 12.
But like, if your neighbor's a welder, like I have a neighbor who's a welder and he has a Lamborghini. Why can't Bezos have a spaceship?
Absolutely. But, like, I think the thing is, and I don't think anybody was like, why he shouldn't be rich. I don't think anybody's saying that. I think people are saying he doesn't need to be sitting on this money that it's not even being used for. He's just used. The only reason he has it is so he has a bigger number next to his name on the Forbes list. So that he can say, I'm the richest man in the world. How about we say, listen, you can just continue to say you're the richest man in the world, but give the government $100 billion so that they can bail some fucking people out who need it. Not corporations.
But if you're Bezos, and if you're Bezos' publicist, you're like, or Elon Musk, you're like, this is a real catch-22 because, if you were to do what they're asking you to do and become a philanthropist and spend all of your money or most of your money, you could be the next Bill Gates, where all of a sudden your name is like synonymous with like, you work for George Soros, like you're Soros, you're like, if you're like left wing and then you go into philanthropy full time, you become Soros, you become Gates, you become like this evil figure. Like, he's not trying to save Africa with malaria nets. Those nets are poison. So it's tricky for them to be like, do we want to get into the business of giving all this away? Because the right will like turn us into fucking weird characters.
Unless you give the right money too.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll be like,
Elon Musk said?
what did
He
Elon
said
Musk say?
If the UN can prove that $6 billion would solve world hunger, they'll give it to them.
Yeah, well, that's a really stupid
What a wiener
thing.
he is.
That's a
I'm
very-
sorry. What an
He was
egotistical, what an
Yeah.
egotistical wiener that man is. Like,
What a fucking-
I still want one of his cars really badly, but UN, listen, I'll solve it, but you gotta do some math for me first. Like, fuck you. Why do you
Yeah.
have to be like that? Just be like, here, have $1 billion. Go help these kids.
Yeah, well,
and when
you're-
you need more, come back to me. But don't go spending it willy-nilly and don't give it to yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, these people should be dead.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we should be killing these people.
Yeah.
That's really the only way forward, is that we have to go with the China model, but the people do it.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like the communist, like the People's Party of China that like just, has rich people, but they're fake rich. It's
Yeah.
all state owned. And so all that money funnels back into the state. Here, we just let our guys keep it, and there's no gun at their throat.
Yeah.
And there should be. Like,
Yeah.
they should just be murdered
Yeah.
in their sleep or while they're walking around, right?
Or give us
That's how
your
you
money
the
or
only
you die.
the only way to like properly redistribute wealth is to murder the
Yeah.
10 richest people in the world, and then have it be like, fuck, we didn't even catch the guys.
Yeah.
We don't know who did it. Bezos decapitated. No idea how it happened.
What? Are you sure he wasn't jerking off?
And and then rich guys 11 through 20 are like, we should have a meeting.
Yeah. This is scary.
Yeah, and then the two of them go, fuck you, like,
And they get decapitated.
they'll never get me, and then boom, they're dead.
Yeah.
And then rich guys 20 through 30 are like, we need an emergency meeting.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fucking way that I'm going to get decapitated on television like those other fucking guys.
That might be a reality
if you don't-
show
you don't-
soon. Decapitate who wants to decapitate a billionaire?
His kids would. His kids would be like, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
My dad is an asshole.
My dad is an asshole.
No, I think that's the only way to do it. We got to murder them, but we just like hire Russians to do it.
Yeah.
Russians are the best at killing people
Why? Just because
they can laugh right after. Like the quickness for that, like
so they're sociopaths.
you could make if a Russian murdered somebody with their bare hands and it was like a real struggle with blood everywhere,
Yeah.
and then the person was finally snuffed out, and then you showed them like a gif
He would
of like somebody slipping on a banana peel, they would immediately be like, Russians don't, they can go right from like murder laughing, so you want to hire those people.
Yeah.
Because they can get away with things. They're smart.
Let's get in friendly with the Russians then.
So who has it? I think Jim has a show tonight, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, you have at
He
the
has a
comic
show
strip.
at the comic strip.
So we should scratch our. This one's gonna make us.
Because I
billionaire.
was at oh Jesus. I was at Rumors. Rumors is pretty fun.
Rumors
It's
is
it is a fun club to do. It really is.
And the comics are fun in Winnipeg. And
Yeah, the whole thing, Tyler, the comics, the staff, it's sort of easy. Like, I don't think I do many I do, Calgary Yucks,
Yeah.
whatever,
you
Edmonton.
don't want to go back to all.
I haven't gone out east in I was looking 13
Have you-
years. I
okay,
haven't gone
you've
out east
gotta
in
do,
13 years.
You got to do
That's a long time.
punchlines and take shots. Are really.
Oh yeah, I did that
I
one. Yeah.
like that club. They're great.
Yeah, that one's fun. But I haven't gone to like Ontario.
Yeah, well, that's because when you go to Ontario, they're like, no hotel, no travel, blah, blah, blah. Go, make no money, come out if you want, because they don't need Western comics to come out there. So, like, every time I'd ever just go out there, it's because, like, I'm like, well, I just want to go hang out with my friends and not make any money, and sleep on a couch for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I was last time I was there, I was on a couch for 5 weeks on an air mattress.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. And like they're
Air
like
mattress. It was the worst living conditions because it's like you're up with you have to stay up. You don't have a room.
yeah, you stay with the
So
latest
you're
person.
staying up with the latest person.
with the
You're
earliest.
up with the earliest person, and you're on an air mattress.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's totally
one-
deflated by the time you wake up.
Yeah, you're just like on ground.
taco.
You're like, yep, and then you don't want to admit it because you're like, I don't want to talk about how much air that mattress lost.
Yeah, because
somebody
need a
might be
place to
like,
sleep.
I slept there last night and it didn't go down at all.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm
There's some body
I'm
image
grotesque. I'm gross. Only fat people make it go down. Did we win? You don't even know.
No,
if
I
we
didn't
won.
check it yet. Okay, so this is a set for life. Are we set for life?
No.
It just asked me if I'm enjoying Lotto Spot. I'm like, no, actually, I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm going to give you a bad review because I haven't won much. No, it's a non-winning ticket.
Good
Look at how happy
God.
this guy is.
I know.
I think that we would win.
Fucking white straight male.
Fucking white straight male. Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, thanks for being on this podcast. What episode number was this?
96. 97.
Oh, my gosh.
97 was my brother's hockey number.
He was like Connor McDavid before Connor McDavid.
Was he 97? I guess so. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I'll have to ask Oliver.
What do we do for the 100th episode? Do we have a guest on?
I don't know. If someone wants to tweet us a suggestion, it'll be one
God.
person. They'll be like, you should have the dogs on.
Bring the dog. Yeah, do something totally different.
You have to wear a tuxedo.
Sean has to wear a tuxedo.
Yeah.
We should all dress formal.
Yeah,
Oh
let's all
my
dress
God.
formal.
And then talk clean. A clean podcast.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. I don't even do that to like get corporate money. So fuck that if I'm doing it for free. No way.
Let's do a clean podcast
If
for the 100th.
someone sends us $1,000 each, so that's
They
$3,000,
won't.
I will do a clean podcast, but only one. And
Yeah, who the fuck is like?
I'm
I'll
just
pay you
hoping.
to do that.
I'm hoping somebody says. I said 3,000 because Jim is here as well.
I know. Yeah,
It's
$3,000.
not easy money
a
for
clean
Jim because Jim
podcast.
has to deal with us all the time.
He does, and he's the one that has to like occasionally bleep out words that we said, like he has to today.
Or he says he does, but we don't listen to it to check.
We don't check, but other people will, and then you're like, and then one day you get famous, and then it's like, but listen to what she laughs at.
Yeah, I get almost famous, and then when I'm almost famous, then someone finds this podcast and is like, no, bitch, go back to your condo and stay there.
Yeah, we heard what you said. You don't belong here with the rest of us.
You're not woke enough.
Well, that was it.
That was
How long
it.
did we fucking talk? That was too long. I think we should shut him. Yeah, we should start doing short ones, just 20, because we start getting boring at about 25 minutes.
I don't know. This one was pretty. I was interested pretty much the whole time.
I think this one was dirty. Oh,
I liked
that's
it.
sometimes you're not interested the whole time.
Sometimes I'm like, all right, this is
Get it
we have
over
nothing else
with.
to talk about.
Fuck.
Oh my God, this is a rough one.
Ugh.
But yeah, no, this one we were good, and I hope to God that none of us this time, or at least this week, goes home and jerks off while being choked and dies.
No, I hope not.
Hope not.
No, it's not. I mean, there's
If you
0%.
die by a hanging this week, we're gonna know. We're gonna know. We're
Yeah.
gonna know.
Yeah, we'll know.
Okay, just want her to know, Sean. They say Sean killed himself, but he was jerking off.
Why are these suicide notes stuck together? Gross.
Disgusting.
Ah, well. All right.